Ridley Scott's Alien from 1979 is a great film to watch around the Halloween season, or anytime really if you're into sci-fi horror classics. I've counted Alien as one of my favorite movies for a long time. In fact, I'm such a big fan of the original film that I found myself drawn to every sequel and prequel that has been released so far, even though nothing has quite compared to the first movie for me. There are a couple of reasons for this that many people can probably relate to. We can cover that some other time, but I think the key word for me is often atmosphere. I can get immersed into a film if the lighting, production design, and sound design all meld together well enough, usually with the accompaniment of a good score. I love a good score. Honestly, as important as a good plot and characters often are, sometimes atmosphere and the more technical aspects of a movie can really carry it for me, especially in horror and thriller films. Just look at the works of Lynch, Aronofsky, Winding Refn, Eggers, Villeneuve, and Von Trier. Their films often have good writing, of course, but these directors' strengths often lean towards creating visceral and often ominous worlds through atmosphere. Ridley Scott and his team did a great job in Alien. It makes me think about one of my favorite scenes. The very first one. That's right. That slow crawl revealing the Nostromo, in all its immaculately detailed practical effect glory, moving into frame against the coldness of space. It seems so massive, that fusion of future technology, but also so worn and rustic and patched together. Much like its crew, perhaps. Then we cut into the darkened, quiet interior of the ship, wandering like stowaways. Nothing but the low hum of computers and fans and hissing of steam and leaking of pipes. The ship is an organism of sorts, a sleeping beast, and we, the audience, are the trespassers. Maybe we haven't been seen yet. That opening scene is just one of a plethora of other wonderful scenes and awesome shots. Today, though, I want to point out something I haven't heard anyone discuss. How the best scene, or at least one of the best scenes in the movie, contains its worst shot. Now, you might be asking, Joe, how can you say such a thing? I thought you loved this movie. It's basically flawless. I feel like I've said something to that effect before. Yes, even bringing this shot to your attention is a pretty minor thing regarding one of the best sci-fi horror movies. Heck, movies in general ever made. I'm referring to Captain Dallas's search for the creature in the ducts. This scene or sequence is probably my favorite in the movie and could certainly be argued to be the best. The tension is so heightened here, with the visibility limited and no way to discern the monster's location other than the continuous beep of the motion sensor device. The flamethrower should help, but if you can't see the enemy, it's not much of a weapon at all. Like the rest of the crew guiding Dallas, the audience is left to be just that, an audience. We can't even give Dallas hints of advice, flawed as they may be, as to what the sensor may indicate. No, we are helpless to watch him stumble in the dark against the unseen, stalking foe. We can only imagine being in the same situation, in the dark, alone, except with this alien thing. I'm so tempted to make another reference there, but I shall resist. Then the beeping sound increases. The crew communicates frantically to save their leader. The monster is getting closer, but we cannot tell from what direction. Dallas, the captain, our hero, turns, but it's too late. The monster has him in his grasp, and it does this. It's surprised by the light, I guess? So maybe it wasn't stalking him. Sounds like it's a farcical whoopsie. Definitely some unintentional comedy. It certainly could have been more comedic if they held on this shot, which reveals one of the weaknesses of the wonderful costume. Too much light shows how rubbery and actually kind of fake this monster looks, at least with the higher definition viewings. Scenes which showed more of the costume were cut, and probably for the best. For as wonderfully designed as it is, it does still look like a man in a suit. Ironically, that's what's kind of great about Alien. It's that classic 1950s B-horror movie of a monster on the loose. It's just much sleeker, more nuanced, and much more atmospheric. The clever hiding of the monster in limited lighting and hidden within the environment highlighted the unknown aspects of what we fear the most. The unknown. The scorpion tail pokes out. The close-up of the fangs drooling. Much like Jaws, less proves to be more. Limitations can make for a better movie and a better monster. Keep it in the dark. Then again, maybe this was just a brief way for the movie to show its roots. Maybe the monster, which seems like an unstoppable force of nature, was actually scared. Humans can be pretty scary too, after all. I wouldn't mess with Ripley. What was it she said again?
Get away from her, you